I'm finally doing it. I'm giving my technique a name. Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad you're here and I am really excited for today's video. I just realized that I don't have these lights on in the background. One moment. That's better. All right, I feel a little ridiculous filming today's video, but something I have noticed is that everyone in this wavy curly hair community here on the internet comes up with a method, a technique, and then they name it. And I felt like, oh, that would be cool. I should try that. And 4 years later, I am finally giving the method that I use to wash and style my hair a name. This method is battle tested by hundreds of women that have taken curl coaching sessions with me, and this works. This works for short hair, it works for long hair, it works for fine hair, it works for coarse hair, it works for wavy hair, obviously, and it works for curly hair. The main thing about this technique is that it will not work if you don't have the right amount of product and water in your hair. That's all I'm gonna say right now. But with that being said, the name that I've come up with for the way I style my hair is the Swing Curl Clump Method. SCC for short. Swavy, Curly, Courtney. See what I did there? Yes, I know that this is a little bit ridiculous and that there are some physical limitations to styling your hair this way. If hanging upside down doesn't work for you, if kind of swinging your head around doesn't work for you, whether it's back issues, neck issues, vertigo, I understand. And there are modifications to doing this technique. You don't have to swing your head as quickly as I am going to demonstrate here shortly in my bathroom, but I'm really excited to show you exactly how I do this. Thank you, dear husband, for participating and helping me film this. Let's go into my bathroom. We will be starting off with freshly washed and clean hair. You could have co-washed. You could have washed your hair with a low poo and rinsed out your rinse out conditioner after a thorough squish to condish. You could have just finished clarifying and deep conditioning your hair. It matters not, so long as you are starting with clean, conditioned hair. Grabbing the first of the products that we will be leaving on our hair. This is my leave-in conditioner. Well, actually, it's a curl cream, but what the main point is that you need a conditioning product to start raking through your hair. This is where we start organizing the curl clumps. Gently finger detangling. Theoretically, your hair is already thoroughly detangled from your cleansing and conditioning process. You will just be distributing your conditioning product through your hair with your fingers. Once you've done that, you will grab your favorite brush and gently start pushing the hair away from your face. This creates a bunch of awesome parts on the top of your hair, really nice and straight, so that you can pick your part once you're done. Now my hair is really sticking up. That won't look cute when I flip my head right side up. I'm going to pull the hair off the sides of my face and off the back of my head. You can already see that using this brush is helping my curls start to organize and clump together and look like ribbony, seaweedy, awesome goodness. The curl clumps have started to form, but things are a little bit stuck still right at the top of my head. Instead of trying to organize it with a brush, the simplest way is just to pull them off the back of my head with my fingers. Now remember how I said that this method only works if you have the right amount of product and water in your hair? We're going to be adding just a little bit more water to my hair. Usually, if your curl clumps are not coming together the way you want, the answer is not more product. It's usually add more water. But Courtney, I'm rinsing out all of that leave-in conditioner. Oh, nay, nay, my friend. Your hair will soak up the leave-in conditioner that it needs while the water helps your curl clumps stick together and form really, really nicely. Now I'm just gently squishing and pulsing this leave-in conditioner curl cream product into my hair with lots of water. I'm not trying to squish all the water out of my hair. I'm just trying to swoosh and pulse it around to make sure that there's still plenty of water in my hair for the first swing. Bada bada swing. You swing up, shake the hair off the back of your head, and then swing back down and watch this. See how I kind of flung my head around and all the curl clumps kind of twirled together for a second? This is the beginning basis of this method. Stand up, shake the hair off the back of the head, swing back down. Let's see that one more time. Really nice swing curl clump together. I know this seems ridiculous, but I promise it does flick and twirl the curl clumps together. It keeps things big and juicy while allowing all your natural curls to come together on their own. Sometimes when you use a Denman brush to artificially clump the hair together, the curl clumps are too big, they're kind of weighed down, they're stretched out. Sometimes finger coiling can do the same thing by awkwardly clumping the hair together. This method allows your hair to clump together in the curl families that it wants to naturally. This is very similar to Wee Dad's Rake and Shake, but again, you're not artificially clumping things together. You're allowing the curl clumps to find their homes by themselves. Now I'm going in with the second product. This is my curl enhancer, and this is kind of the first real styler. Now that I have my curl clumps organized-ish with that leave-in cream conditioning product, I can start locking them in place with gels. This isn't really a gel, it's a custard / curl enhancer. Anyway, I glazed that over, roped it in, and now I'm gently scrunching in the middle, then on the side, then on the other side, gently beginning to turn my head from side to side to side as I scrunch because I'm winding up for the next big swing. You want to swing your head in between each styler. This makes sure that things don't get stuck in an awkward spot. It keeps things tumbling off the back of your head, making sure that the curl clumps are still staying together in their curl families. Remember, you have enough water and product in your hair to hold those curl clumps together. If you don't have enough water and product in your hair, they won't clump together properly. You can see there I was pointing out that I got this big chunky spiral from all that twirling and swinging. Now we're going to lock all of this in with a hard hold gel. You don't have to use 2 separate stylers. You could use 4 separate stylers with this method. I have done this with a leave-in conditioner and a single styler. I have done this with a curl cream and 3 gels on top. The main principle is that you are going to stand up and swing the hair around off the back of your head in between each application of product. Same gel product application here. I do not rake or brush gels through my hair. It does not work with this method. It breaks up the curl clumps instead of keeping them together. So we did a glaze, a rope, and then a scrunch, and you can see that things are still really nice and big, but not too big. Again, if you get your curl clumps too big, then they weigh each other down. Gently scrunching in the middle, then the sides, then the middle, then the sides, slowly turning my head from side to side. Now, another big swing, shake things off the back of my head and let the curl clumps twirl back together. More scrunching and pulsing to get that product distributed into each and every single curl clump. Now I'm going to stand up and swing again off the back of my head and let the curl clumps twirl back together. All right, I think I've made my point with the swing curl clump method here. You've seen it demoed probably more times than you wanted to. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for keeping an open mind and really paying attention while I demo this method. Everything in this method is intentional, and it is developed out of years and years of trial and error. It really does work for all different hair types. So many people have tried this out and it does work. I'm giving my hair one good final scrunch to remove excess water and product. You are now ready to plop and diffuse and then enjoy your glorious waves and curls. All right, guys, that is it. That is how I get my curl clumps to organize themselves into their curl families. If you've been here on my channel before, you have seen this in part before, but hopefully now with the extra footage that I couldn't get before and now have thanks to the help of my husband, you can really get a visual for the full motion that is kind of twirling the curl clumps together. This works better for me than brush styling. I can never reach around and get the back of my head. Finger coiling takes forever. Finger rolling takes forever for me. If I just take an extra couple of 20 seconds while scrunching in my product to kind of swing my head, my curl clumps find each other, the hair's tumbling around, not getting stuck to the back of my head. This is it. This is what I do, and this is what works for me. Part of me feels real self-conscious right now because I understand it's a little ridiculous to swing your head around while you're washing and styling it. You can do this in the shower if you so desire. It does work. You don't need just a whole lot of room to do this. I have done this in very small confined spaces. You don't have to swing your head around violently like I do. I'm just really trying to show the motion that I'm using. It's kind of a smooth motion. Anyway, if you so choose to use the SCC method to style your hair, the Swing Curl Clump Method to style your hair, please feel free to use that hashtag on your social media accounts. Tag me. I would love to see it. You may or may not be featured in an upcoming video if you use the Swing Curl Clump Method. All right, guys, thank you for putting up with me. Thank you for hanging out with me. My hope is to be as helpful as humanly possible to anyone who wants to embrace the hair that they are fearfully and wonderfully made with. I went from hating the hair that grew out of my head, really fighting it, constantly flat ironing it, not knowing why it was so dry, so brittle, so frizzy, to discovering this thing called the Curly Girl Method back in 2018, and then using tips and tricks from that method that really improved the health of my hair, which has led me to this today, naming this method of swinging my head around as an actual technique to style waves and curls. Always keep in mind, you do not have to follow any technique, whether it's brush styling or finger coiling or the Swing Curl Clump Method. You do not have to follow any one method to the letter. Pick and choose elements from all these different methods and put them together for what works for you. Pick the things that work for you and use those and leave the rest. This is just meant to be helpful and give you a really solid visual of this technique. All right, enough talking. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.
How do you feel about that one, babe?
I feel good. My butt burns.
So what you're saying is you get a good glute workout whenever you do this too.
Yes, you do.
So double the benefits.
Oh my gosh. Strong back, strong butt. Enough talking. I'm gonna go sit down and ice my backside because we had to film that so many times. My buns hurt, guys. I haven't bent over my bathtub for that long, ever. We filmed this all yesterday and had to refilm it today because we couldn't get the angle right. And then there was a lot of practice shots that didn't get recorded. I'm not gonna have to work out for like 6 months now.